This is a mental health themed video. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've been going through recently, specifically related to grief. So I do have some other mental health issues that are going on. This is not what that video is about. This is specifically about the things I've been going through with grief and some interesting experiences I've had just in this past week. So if you don't know, my husband Sam passed away 3 years ago. He died of COVID, but 16 years ago now he was hit by a roadside bomb in Iraq. He's a Marine and he suffered a very severe traumatic brain injury. So he's arrived almost 13 years with that traumatic brain injury, but very impaired, and he was quite medically fragile. He was in the hospital 9 times in the last year before he died. So when he got COVID, he had absolutely no immune system to fight it. He died within 7 hours of spiking a fever. I had to be very strong over those 13 years. I was 23 when he was originally injured, and I was always told how strong I was, and it was necessary, but also it hindered my emotional development. And I think, there was a lot of grief that it didn't get processed. And I have been feeling lately both, I think, a combination between grief, unresolved grief from the original injury, and then also from his death. I've been feeling physical pain in my body. I have physical injuries that I'm starting to think might be a result of this kind of repressed grief and repressed emotions that I've yet to deal with. So I've been in therapy for just over 3 years now. I happened to start therapy 3 weeks before Sam died, which was really convenient because I was already in the system. I already had appointments scheduled, at the time of his death. I'm about to graduate from therapy with my current therapist, but I do recognize that I think there's still some deeper things that I haven't gotten to yet, and she's not the person to delve into that with. I actually have someone specifically in mind for that. We've been in contact. She's in the middle of moving, but I will be starting, do at least a few sessions with this other person. She did a talk at TedX Folsom. Fantastic, and exactly what I'm looking to get at, what I'm looking to help resolve and dig deeper into is the kind of the physical manifestation of emotions and how we feel things in our body, and that's right up Kim's wheelhouse. So what had happened recently is, this is like stuff that I'm not comfortable with. It's not in my wheelhouse at all, but the whole idea of energy. And this one person in particular, she is a kind of consultant of my personal coach. We had done some Zoom stuff together, some group Zoom stuff, and it had come up that maybe I had blockages in my root chakra. And I think that was related to the hamstring injury, but maybe other things that were going on, I don't remember. Then I had a massage recently. I threw out my back recently, and then the pain went up to my neck as well, and had this massage therapist, and she's like, "Boy, you've got a lot of blocked energy here, specifically in my hips." And then it came up again, the blockages with the energy healer through my coach. It came up again that perhaps I have, this blocked energy. So I don't even know what this even means. And then I had this third person who I know through TedX Folsom, actually another person through TedX Folsom, Nafsheen, and she is an energy healer, but she specifically uses art as therapy. So I had a session with Nichelle. She's the one that I had done Zoom stuff with already, and she did a tarot reading, which totally way outside my comfort zone. That brought up some interesting things, just got me thinking. Definitely blockages in my heart chakra, my solar plexus, my root chakra for sure, and so things that we already knew. So that was just interesting, and that happened on last Thursday. The next day, Friday, so 2 days ago, as I'm recording this, I had my art therapy session with Nafsheen, and this is where things really came to a head. So I was already open to these things. I'd had the tarot reading the day before. I was thinking and kind of processing these things that maybe were going on. Then we had this art therapy session. And so the way she does it is it was in her art studio in her house. It's quiet, there's incense burning, there are candles lit. And first we just had a conversation. I went in completely like I'm not looking for anything in particular out of this. Just I feel like I have some energy blockages. That's what I keep hearing, and I just want to explore that. And she asked me some questions about Sam, about the injury, about his death, that kind of thing. And she just led me in a meditation. So she had some music on in the background. My eyes were closed, deep breaths, and then we went through this guided meditation. And most of this, I was conjuring up images. She had this amazing visual of myself like in a beautiful field, and then picturing my body as this like glowing white light. And then there are holes in my body, black holes in my body. And these are things that people have taken from me. And so then I imagine myself taking those things back and plugging those holes, those black holes back with that radiant white light. And then there are pieces of me and then there's like baggage pieces, like extra things that people have given me that I want to give back. And this was really, really powerful for me because it enabled me to kind of come to the conclusion that maybe I actually do have some anger towards Sam. If you're familiar with the 5 stages of grief, anger is one of them. But I've always said that, I was able to move into acceptance, and I never really experienced anger. I've met people who are angry. I write about the angry wife in my memoir, this woman that I met at a conference, and I didn't want to be like her. And I couldn't recall ever having any anger, and I still can't. But I think it's repressed anger because I think the anger is actually towards Sam. It's hard, even me telling you about this is just part of me processing this. Anger that he left in the first place, that he deployed to Iraq in the first place, that he put himself in the position to get hurt, that he put himself in the position to die, that his Marine Corps career really was important enough that he would sacrifice what we have together and our time together, his physical well-being and presence on this earth. And so I'm still kind of processing this. As part of making this video is kind of processing this. I happen to be in Salinas, California right now. It's basically like inland a ways and in the north and inland of Monterey, California. That's why I'm in a hotel room right now. And I was at the beach yesterday, and I'll insert some footage here of just me trying to process, kind of writing a note to Sam in the sand and letting it be washed away. So back to the art therapy session. So we go through this meditation, this guided meditation. Most of it's kind of in my head. Some of it was an out loud conversation where she'd ask a question and I would verbally answer. And then she left me alone for a while to journal. So I just sat down and I just kind of like wrote things out, things that had come to me, visuals that had come to me, visuals and thoughts that had come to me during the meditation session. One of the things, there's this picture, if I can find it, I'll put it here. If not, just imagine this with me. Before troops leave the United States to go to the Middle East, they fly out of Bangor, Maine. And I had this picture of Sam. He's in his desert camis with his pack, carrying Harry Potter. And one of these Maine volunteers from Maine took this picture of him, and it's just him walking. So it's the last picture I have of him before he deployed on that last deployment. And that visual of if people have given you things or taken things from you and you imagine giving it back or taking them back. What I imagined was the burden and the weight and the grief and everything that I have over him, the anger, I imagined taking that and putting it in that pack of his, for him to carry, because this is a man who wouldn't even let me open my own door, let alone, you know, would he want me to be carrying this with me? And then that was kind of part of that symbolism too, of writing that note in the sand and letting it be washed away. He wouldn't want me to be carrying this. And I also came up with an image of Sam's brother, Donnie, is a really great artist. And long time ago, I think this was for our wedding, he made this kind of negative cutout. So there was two versions of it. One was the actual negative cutout of this image of Sam and I together, and the other was the stencil that he made with that. And it's a picture of the two of us, like kind of like chest to chest in our faces, and we're kind of looking out. And so I had this visual kind of me and Sam like that. And that was actually the painting that I ended up producing, is some version of that. And so just kind of these forms of us, and you know, it's no like amazing art or anything like that, I know, but it was it's symbolic, you know, and that's what he would want. He wants to be my rock. He wants to be, you know, his arms around me, for me to lean on him. And that's really, I think, important, that I am able to release the anger, process the anger, so that I can really process the grief. And I mean, the fact that I can talk to you about this with like zero emotion at all right now tells me that I haven't processed it yet. I certainly cried a lot during the art therapy session, but I can tell that I'm telling you this in a very much from my rational mind and not my emotional mind, and there's more work to do. And that's the work that I plan to do with Kim. So I just wanted to share this kind of experience with you guys. I know if you've been following my channel that you know the story about Sam, and you've seen the different kind of phases of my grief, and whether it's reading books on grief, depression, like all the things that have gone on in the last several years. I mean, even vlogs that included Sam, you know, before he died. So anyway, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know, do you have any experience with any sort of like energy healing? Reiki, tarot, anything in that realm? I'd love to hear about it. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, all day.